Hi there, this is Naomi Masuno. The webinar today is for club planning. We'll cover calendars and budgets. So for calendars, there are the international calendar, the district calendar, and the club calendar. So putting them all together would be really good so we can plan out the year and people know what's coming up. So let's start with the Rotary International calendar. The calendar can be found at this link on the Rotary.org website. And on there, they have the monthly themes that are recommended. Also, they have award categories that Rotary International has, and then event information that you can find in their news and event location. So for Rotary, the monthly themes, and these are just suggestions, not necessarily that you have to follow this, but let's start from this semi-annual period. January was Vocational Service Month. February, Peace Building and Conflict Prevention Month. And February 23rd, of course, is Rotary's International, Rotary's anniversary. Then in March, Water Sanitation Hygiene Month, and then you have the World Rotaract Week in that month. April is Maternal and Child Health. May, Youth Service. June is the Fellowships Month. Now, fellowships are groups around the world with a common interest. So for instance, we have in Hawaii the Wine Appreciation Fellowship. And so it's not a formal charter, but the group meets with Liz Kane as the unofficial chair. And we have wine tastings and just social events with everybody bringing their own bottle of wine and sharing food and wine together. Then when we have the conference every year, the Wine Fellowship usually gets together for an event. At the Rotary International Convention, the fellowships will meet, and you can meet people from all around the world that have this common interest. So for instance, in Hamburg, the Wine Appreciation Fellowship had 3 dinners, and we sat with people from around the world sharing wine that was specially picked for that dinner. The Surfers Fellowship was planning a paddle out for polio at the convention, and they came up with their own logo and they were planning it. So the surfers have a fellowship. There are so many different fellowships that people can be with like-minded Rotarians and share in that common interest. So if you're interested in other types of fellowship, go to the Rotary International website and type in fellowships, and then your members can join those fellowships and learn about that topic, or just join and meet people from around the world. Okay, the Rotary citation for clubs, Rotaract Interact clubs are due at the end of June. They made some changes to the citation. Now it's only 3 items per category, so it's a lot easier to qualify for getting the Rotary citation. This is the one that used to be called a presidential citation, but it's Rotary citation. And in order to get things checked off, you need to go to the Rotary Club Central on the Rotary International website to check off or see if you got things checked off and achieved for that award. Okay, July they gave us a break, club organizing, so August is membership and new club development, September basic education literacy, October community economic development, November is foundation month, when we try and do special programs to encourage foundation giving. So one of the ideas in foundation month is that anybody who gives during a certain period, so a week, a day, the club matches the points, the Paul Harris points for the donation. So that is one way to encourage the giving in Foundation Month. December is Disease Prevention and Treatment Month. So for your speakers, it might be good to use this as a guide and have a speaker on that topic during that month. Rotary International's calendar, you have the convention in June, and guess what? The Rotary Convention is back on. It's going to be a virtual convention. So it's June 20th through the 26th. Friday, nothing on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, there's a general session with 75 minutes. Then Monday through Thursday, there will be breakout sessions. So no, they had lined up all of these special presenters for the breakout sessions. So why not use them for the breakouts? So those would be probably webinars or Facebook events or a streaming on the internet. They're working out the kinks, but those are the dates, June 20 through the 26th, 2020. And I heard that they were going to put this on Hawaii time. So Rotarians in our district will have the advantage of having this during our time period, not 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Okay. October 24th is always the day for World Polio Day, and it's a Saturday this year. So we want to try and have some events on every island to celebrate the polio achievements and the work that we still need to do for polio. So hopefully we can get that going on each island. Usually they have a broadcast, so we'll see what happens on the international level. Okay, Zone Institute is in San Diego, and it's November 12th through the 15th, and is open to any Rotarian. So the Zone Institute is like is like an assembly on steroids. You learn so much, and they go deeper into learning about Rotary, and you have fabulous speakers there. The DGE and DGN have a special training before the Zone Institute, and they get a lot of intense training at those sessions. February is International Assembly in Orlando this year. Oh, sorry, that's next year, 2021. This is where all of the DGAs from all over the world would go and go to this assembly and learn more about Rotary and what their responsibilities are as DG. So Sandy will be going to Orlando in February. June 12th through the 16th, 2021 is the US, convention in Taipei. Okay, and the future conventions, you have June 4th through the 8th, 2022 in Houston, Texas. The Melbourne, Australia convention is in May. June 18th through 12th, 2024 is in Singapore, and I heard a lot of people interested in going to the one in Singapore. Okay, so the 2025 is in Calgary, Canada. 26, I forget what it was, but 27 is an open one. So if Hawaii is putting in their name again, maybe the 27th to 2027 is the one that we can put our name in for. So let me tell you more about the Zone Institute. Zone Institute is where people from all over the zone come. So we're in zone 26, 27, and that covers part of Canada, all the West Coast districts, and some in Arizona, maybe Idaho, I forget. But there's a lot of people that will go to Zone Institute, maybe about 1,500 people, maybe. All of the DGNs, DGEs are there. District leaders go. There's special sessions for district emerging leaders and resource leaders. So it is open to anyone. There is a special early bird before June 30, and they have special sessions on Thursday for facilitation skills, positive peace, public speaking, servant leadership, and using Facebook Live, and a lot more. So if you would like to attend, just go ahead and go to sandiego2020.org or go to the Zone 2627 website, and you can register. The hotel is at the Omni, I believe, and you do your hotel reservation separately. District calendar. Okay, first half of the year well, we want to start the DG visits in July, August, September, maybe. So it kind of depends on where we are on the lockdown. But in August, we'll open up the district governor application, and we'll have the nomination interviews in November. So please take a look at people in your clubs that may be good candidates and encourage them to apply for the district governor. So this will be after Randy in 2023-24. So fall seminars, these are tentative dates. Oahu, September 12th, Hilo, September 19th. Then we have Kauai, September 26th. And I'm missing Kona, which is October 3rd, and then Maui will be October 17th. So what we wanted to do this time is not only have the foundation qualification seminar, we are looking at inviting the Interact Rotaractors and let them have their own assembly so they can have leadership sessions and all kinds of sessions that normally we would have at our regular training assembly. They can have it in fall. The district has to have a foundation seminar in the fall, so we will have a foundation, but we may add some other sessions like membership, youth service, public image, and whatever else each island wants to put on for training. Okay, October 24th, World Polio Day again. November 28th is the Rotary Gives Thanks Day, and this is where all of the clubs are encouraged to do a project to give back to the community. So one year we did a rice rally. Everybody collected bags of rice or donated money to the food bank, and that was our Give Thanks project. The Eco Club is looking at a tree planting project on every island, so whoever wants to jump in on that can. I think their goal is 10,000 trees in the year. But if you want to do a project on your own, in your AG groups or across the island, please feel free to organize those. But we want to try and do bigger, meaningful, impactful projects. So joining with other entities, other partners would be a good thing. Okay, and you don't have to have it on the 28th, but that usually is the day, that Saturday after Thanksgiving is the day that we do our Rotary Gives Thanks Day. Okay, then in 2021, we start with January 16th with prepex, and the reason why we have this early is because the International Assembly is in February, so we needed to push up prepex. But that means that the president-elect that's going to pre-pets and pets needs to be selected, because there is usually homework, and that would be in November, December, to do homework before pre-pets. So this December, really try and select your PE. So this would be the PE that starts July 2021. Pets is in San Diego again. It's March 5th through the 7th. Then we have the spring assemblies, the training assemblies. And this year, because we're doing it as webinars, we may consider doing it again as webinars. But being there face to face where you can share on the island is a good thing. So we'll circle back and see what we want to do. If we can do it as a webinar, you get ideas from all across the state, so that's a good thing. And the district can save some money by not having to send the presenters. But this year we're trying to get presenters on the island to be involved. So stay tuned for that. If we do it per island, it'll be these dates from March through April, or April. Yes, April. So if we do as webinars, we'll see what dates, but it'll be somewhat on those weekends. Okay, then on April 24th, we always have a Rotarians at Work Day in April. And so this is a Saturday where clubs are encouraged to do projects. For the past couple of years, we've asked to partner with youth groups like your interactors to have them plan the project, pick the project, and this is a leadership opportunity for them to learn how to lead people. And then the Rotaract Club can get involved. The Rotary Club will assist. But joint projects is a good thing. Joint clubs in the AG groups is a good thing, or using partners. You know, one year we did this project in Chinatown, and our club only had about 7 people who were able to help on that project. But we went to the city council and we asked the council member and the representative to ask them what kind of project would be meaningful, that we could make a difference in the community, and if there were other groups that would like to join us. And we ended up with about 120 people and just 7 from our club. So it was kind of interesting that we could work side by side with other groups like American Savings Bank. They brought a whole bunch of people for this beautification project in Chinatown. Okay, we have the district conference in May. So the conference would be the 14th through the 16th, sorry. So Friday through Sunday in Hilo. So it's going to be in Hilo because they are going to celebrate their 100 years on the Big Island. And so it will be at the Naliloa Hotel. And we are working with the hotel to get blocks of rooms. So Nancy Cabral and Alan Kusunoki are working on that contract. So we'll let you know more about that and when the registrations are open. And you know, Benson said that they're going to go all out. They're going to really make this a big celebration. They're going to put together tours of the island, really a fun time. Families can go maybe to the volcano, to sightsee around the island, because there's so much to see on the Big Island. The Wine Appreciation Fellowship may do maybe a wine tasting at the Volcano Winery. We have a Rotarian connection there, and then have dinner at the Volcano House. But so many fun things we can do on the Big Island, and they certainly will need the economic injection, because right now they're facing a really hard time with unemployment, and people really don't have jobs and really suffering from the economic impact of the virus and the shutdown. Okay, so club calendars, May through June, so that's now, your incoming team should be planning for their year to start in July. So normally you would have a planning assembly, so the incoming team would be asking the club members what they want to do, what kind of projects to do, what their focuses are, and looking at budgets and calendars. So really encourage you to have that planning assembly soon on Zoom. Then in June, you update your club rosters, of course, because the Rotary International dues will come out as of the July 1st roster. So you might want to send out your dues invoice in June so you know if people are going to drop out or continue, and collect that money before the Rotary International dues are due. So in July, you're going to pay your Rotary dues and you're sending this to Illinois, and then you pay your district dues, which is coming to Honolulu. HRYF dues, the Hawaii Rotary Youth Foundation dues, are $200. So you want to get that to HRYF with the list of your representatives. So for HRYF, to be a member and participate with that $5,000 scholarship per club, you need to pay your dues and send that list, because It's important to have the right email address for the applications to go to. So when you get that notice, please have your youth service or whoever's taking care of that list and the treasurer to send the dues invoice. Now, because of the stock market tanking recently, HRYF may be short on the amount of money they can give out. So the past couple of years, because the market has been good, they've been able to fund $250,000 in scholarships. So you think about it, we've got 50 clubs participating, 5,000 each, plus 2 of them are upgraded to 10,000, right? It's a lot of money, but if we don't put back money into the fund, we're not going to be able to keep up the 250,000 per year. So please encourage your members to donate to HRYF. Would be good to get $40 per capita per club. It may come to a time where they're going to be short on the earnings, and they want to preserve the corpus, of course, the principal. So it may be that they may tier the amount that you get according to how much your club has donated. So if your club has not donated any money, you may be either limited to a smaller scholarship or not have a scholarship to give. So you want to make sure you keep up with that. Okay, grant applications are due by the end of July, and so these applications are for the grant money that you're getting in 2020-21. This is money that your club donated 3 years ago. Yeah, it's coming back to you. So you can start thinking about what kind of projects you want to do, how much you want to spend. You can submit your grant application now, but definitely before July 31st. Okay, you're going to approve your budget. So looking at your budget now is a good thing. Then in November, you're looking at board nominations, and December have your elections at the annual meeting. Then in April, you start all over again with the new PE transitioning over and getting some training. Okay, so let's go to budgets. Okay, the club bylaws, and your bylaws may be different, but the recommended Rotary International bylaws says that before the fiscal year starts, the board is going to prepare a budget, an annual budget of estimated income and expenditures. Okay, it also says that the bills are paid by the treasurer and it needs to be approved by 2 other officers. And so this is where you have the controls on the check and balances to make sure the bills are being paid on time and the right bills are being paid, and the club's money is being carefully controlled. So make sure you have that. You might want to have a qualified person conduct a thorough annual review of all of the financial transactions to make sure they were authorized and they're in line with the budget. The treasurer should be watching the expenditures according to what the budget was to make sure you're within what the approved budget is. So club members should be getting an annual financial statement of the club and a mid-year report. So make sure your treasurer or whoever is doing the finances is able to prepare that. As a president, you might want to see that monthly, or at least see the bank statement monthly to make sure your expenditures are in line with what was approved. The fiscal year is from July 1st to June 30. Okay, so how do you develop the budget? You're going to look at your past actual financial statements and see what you've spent on in the past, what worked, what didn't work. So you want to analyze the numbers and see what projects you want to continue or not continue. Look at what the committees want. So if the committees have some new ideas on membership drives or projects, they should have a say on what their budget for their committee is. And then ask your members what they want to do, what projects they want to do. Maybe they have ideas that they want to bring forth to the board. Then look at the needs of your community. What do the what does your community need, and maybe you can do some projects that will satisfy that need. Okay, then you look at how much the grant funds are. How much are you getting? How much do you have to put in as matching funds? And the allocation is available on the district website in the foundation tab. So if you want to know how much you're going to get for district grants and foundation global grants, the spreadsheet does tell you how much your allocation is. Okay, so that's where you gather the numbers, and then you look at your income sources. So you get money coming in from dues, so you kind of know how much your dues are going to be and how much your membership is going to be. So you kind of estimate that. You can estimate happy dollars on how much you've gotten before. Look at fundraising ideas, event fees. So when you have events, you should either do revenue neutral or make a profit on each event as a moneymaker for your club. But you certainly would want to try not to have a shortage when you have an event. Okay, special assessments, if you have something like, we have a 75th anniversary for our club. So in order to fund all of the sister club activities, we are assessing the members. Okay, then you have the grant funds, and you're not limited to Rotary grants. You can look for other grants out there that you might be able to apply for if you qualify, and that might help on some of the projects. You might also consider partnering with other organizations and go in with a grant to assist on that project. Okay, expenses, you've got your meeting expenses, supplies, events, projects, and you have a sunshine committee now. The sunshine committee is one where maybe they buy some flower arrangement for someone who is having a baby or is in the hospital, is not feeling well, special occasions, key anniversaries maybe. So that's what the sunshine committee would do. Maybe you call it something else, but it's kind of a common thing to name it as the Sunshine Committee. Okay, then the budgeted items, you've got the Rotary International dues, so $84.33 for the year. So it'll be heavier in July because that's when they assess you for the insurance for directors and officer insurance, liability insurance. They prorate the members that came in after the January bill. But they are saying there is no increase in the dues this coming year. The last 3 years, they've been increasing at $4 a year. For the district dues, it's $60, so $30 a half year. No increase in those dues. HRYF club dues are $200 if you're participating. Then the district assemblies depends on how much the expenses are for the assemblies. Sometimes if it's at a school or some venue, they charge a room fee. And sometimes you want a better lunch, so sometimes the fee for assemblies is a little higher. Then you've got your pre-pets. It's going to be on Oahu one day, and it's about $50 plus airfare for neighbor islands. Pets is San Jose, so you're looking at airfare, registration, 2 extra nights if they're coming in Thursday night and staying Sunday night because of the Hawaiian Airlines flight, the schedule. So it's approximately $1,500 to go. Then the Pets hospitality room is about $100 for the things that we offer the other districts in the hospitality room, and also the refreshments for the president-elects. Then you have the workshops. We're going to try and do the seminars with no charge to encourage people to come, but we'll see what kind of venues we can get. Then RILA expenses and the district conference expenses. So these are budgeted items that the club would put into the budget. Now, you may budget some other things. I know that some of the clubs will pay for people to go to international conventions, subsidize a portion of that, or they may subsidize other people to go to district conference. So it's up to the club to decide what they want to put into the budget. Okay, so here's a template that is in the treasurer's manual, and it's just a format that's kind of is common. So you see the categories, and you have the actual and the budget and what's over and um, short. So it's an Excel spreadsheet that you can do in whatever format. If you have QuickBooks, it'll be in this format, but kind of so you can see that the the income minus your expenses is your profit or your income. And usually you want to pad it a little so you can carry over to the next year, or you're going to break even if you already have a big reserve. Okay, so what happens if you're short and you've got more expenses than you've got income? Here's some ideas. You can have a special fundraiser, and people are getting really creative on the fundraisers. Doing it on Zoom, or having, like, they just had a bingo night, charades, any kind of fundraisers that you need to do. Be creative and have it a fundraiser. So sponsorships, maybe you have some companies that will donate $5,000, and you will promote them when you have events. Put them on your website. If you have Club Runner, there's a space for putting sponsors in there where you put the logos in. So sponsorships, event sponsors, special assessments again, grants from non-Rotary sources, partner with other organizations on projects, so maybe they can put in some money into the project. For instance, if you do one with um, uh, the coastlines, they may have some funds in their foundation to fund the refreshments and the supplies. Happy dollars, but think outside of the box on how you can generate more income. Okay, so there was a question about silent auction and what websites, how you do that electronically. So here are two websites that people have used. And you want to make sure that you're using a company that is reputable. So ask for recommendations because you don't want to be scammed. And some of these companies take a lot of money as their handling fee. But I was talking to Joanne about their Maui silent auction on 32 auctions. They said it was really easy to use. They had 100 items, made a ton of money, and it was really really convenient for the way that they set up that auction, that they were able to get that smoothly executed. 501 Auctions is one that Bank of Hawaii has used many years, but it's called Give Smarts now. So that one was really easy to use. You have an app on your phone and you bid. It's a lot of fun because you can put in a code to outbid any bid if you want something. And you know, with some auctions, people will want to have a really good bargain. So when it gets up to the value, they'll stop. But then if they see what the money is going to be used for, they'll bid more. And so, you know, with the Bank of Hawaii one, we had like a Alexa that's $100, right? And then the bidding went up to $300, and it's because people want to give to the foundation. So it's the way that you market the auction, and you know, really paint the picture that this money is going to be put to good use. Then you get people to bid higher. And so the question was about the rules on silent auction. So I got this from the internet, of course, but good reminders that you should have written rules because you don't want to have confusion or disputes later on. And so some of them would be all sales final, is sold as is, that you don't have any warranties or representations on the quality or genuineness of the item, that it's an estimate of the fair market value, that anything unclaimed, if they didn't pick it up, then it will be sold, and then, you know, there is a donation, a straight donation. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can put in your rules form when you have a silent auction. Okay, so let's move on to other things that you can do if you're short money, or if you're finding that members are not able to make your dues payment. there are 3 types of membership categories. There's active, honorary, and Rotaract. So active is where someone pays dues, they're on your roster, and they're voting members, okay? So this is a category, not necessarily that they're active doing stuff in the club, but just a category, okay? Then you have honorary, and so someone you want to keep in the club, they don't pay dues, and they're not voting members, and they're not on your roster, because once you put them on the Rotary roster, then you're going to be charged by Rotary International, right? And the Rotaractors can have their own type. But honorary categories, there are no dues. If they want an optional Rotarian magazine, it's $12 a year, and you would put that on your invoice that you're going to pay for them. They can pay for it if you collect from them. So it's up to you. And usually honorary members should be renewed every year. It's not a guarantee that you have to keep them from year to year. An associate member is someone that doesn't pay dues. They're not in the active membership type, then they're not honorary. They're just, well, on your roster, you would put them in as honorary or not put them in at all. But so say you have a young professional, and David from Hanalei asked this question, if you wanted to keep them coming to meetings and they were testing you out to see if they wanted to join or not. This is a category that you can put them in or not. You know, you can just have them come to meetings and not have them in any category. But the associate is where they're tied to the club as an associate, but they're not an active member with dues. Okay. You could keep them as a test situation. They're not an associate, but they're just paying an initiation fee maybe to get in, but not pay any dues. So that's up to the club on how you handle that. Corporate memberships is where the company pays and the member is from that company. And then you could have 3 people that alternate or rotate coming to meetings, but only one is on your roster. If you put more than one, then you'll have dues for each person that you put onto the Rotary roster. So you could charge them the same dues. You can charge them more if you're doing it like a sponsorship. That's up to the club on how you want to handle that dues amount. Some clubs have spouse or family membership with lower dues amounts. Young professional membership dues might be lower. So I've heard 25, if you're up to 25, you're in that category, you pay half the dues, half the amount. I've heard 30 years and 35 years where they have a discounted membership due. And sometimes you want to give them a discount, so the club ends up paying the difference, but maybe because they're contributing to the work or doing projects, or you want to keep them engaged in your club, you were able to offer them a discounted dues amount. Okay, and some clubs will go with monthly payments. The only thing is, if you go with monthly payments and they decide to quit mid period, then you've already paid the Rotary International and district dues for the full 6 months. So you might want to collect from them at least the dues amount so the club is not short. Okay, so those are the types of membership dues. So if your members are facing some economic hardship right now and you want to keep them in the club, there are ways that you could make adjustments temporarily to keep them in. Okay, so that is it for the presentation. And of course, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me or call me, ask your AGs. But I hope this helped in trying to plan your year out and getting some ideas of how to frame the calendar and the budget. Okay, thank you very much for all you do and for hanging in there with this situation. but it seems that a lot of you are having a lot of fun. So don't forget, on May 8th, we have the talent showcase on Zoom. That's a Friday at 5 o'clock. This Saturday, May 2nd, we have the assembly sessions, the Zoom sessions. So we have track 1 with okay, so track 1 we have okay, so I'm so sorry. Okay, track 1 is for new members. What is Rotary? Rotary 101, that's Foundation 101. So these are basic overviews of Rotary and their programs and the foundation. So we have Doug Adams with Rotary 101 and Carrie Glass with Foundation 101. Then we'll have a special session on homelessness. Mark Alexander, who's with the city and county, he is one of the people that really knows what's going on with the homeless community and what initiatives there are, what needs to be done. Then track 2, we have Randy Hart with membership and Nalani Flynn, the membership chair. Club service is Connie Ichinose, and so club service is about engagement of your members, retention. So how do you make the meetings fun and engaging, interesting to visitors, and how do you reach out to people who haven't been to your meetings in a while? So we'll cover that in club service. Then the last session is Peace Initiative. Charlene Iboshi is covering that on the Big Island. There are many peace initiatives that they're doing. They have Peace Poles, Peace Garden, a tree from Hiroshima. They have a lot of Peace Corps returnees. And so you'll hear more about peace. And peace covers so much. It could be not only encouraging peace in the world, but it's also like anti-bullying or human trafficking and friendships. It's all part of peace. Okay, so please look for the codes for the Zooms. We have a webinar next week, Monday, where Benson will cover how to run a meeting, and he has some other things that he wants to cover with the president-elect. So we really encourage you to call in on Monday at 7 o'clock. So it's the first Monday every month that Benson really wants to focus on some information, some training needs for president-elects. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Again, please do not hesitate to call Benson, your AGs, call me. You know, we're here to support all of you, and thank you again for all that you do. Okay, aloha.